Hey guys, welcome back to CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Sunday, February 20th. It is the All-Star break for the NBA, so we are going to dive into some college basketball player props and prize picks for the day. Typically, if you're between two players, I would recommend going with the team you think is going to win and or the home team. There's a big home advantage in college basketball, and those players tend to play better. So what I've done over here on the left, you can see the Excel sheet. This isn't a sheet that's posted or anything. I just went in and pulled some stats for the last 15 days of players that are scoring a large amount of points per game and playing a lot of minutes. And then I just started going down price picks and entering the names to see who was available that we could possibly do a line on. Now I'm just doing a couple 5-man flex cards on price picks today. No big money. Again, I am no expert by player props, especially for college. I just don't have the time to dig into all the DVP stats in recent games. So I'm just basically using what I do for NBA and taking the last week or two of players that are doing really well. They're scoring a lot of points, and then looking at their line and making a decision on ones that we want to put in. So we've got about 8 guys here that you can see that are marked in yellow that we're going to take a look at. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is Prim for Mo State. And we like this over 17.5 points. You can see he's been pretty consistent. He's over this in 4 of the last 5 games. And he pretty much averages about 22 points a game over the last 5. And 17.5 is definitely doable, so he's someone that we like to go over. He was the top one that we could find on the sheet. Bynum was not up there. Ryan Hawkins is going to be number 2, over 14.5 points. He's been over this in 3 of the last 4 games. The one game he missed was only by the 0.5 hook, you can see here, versus Georgetown. But what I like about him is he has some massive games here. He has a 25 and a 30-point game, so I really like targeting the lower 14.5 point number. Going down to number 3 is David DeJulius. And he's someone that didn't pop up until I started digging a little more because I didn't have Cincy listed on here. And I really like his over today. He's been over this in 4 of the last 5 games. In the one game, he was even at 13. So he's getting pretty close to that number and consistently going over. So he's someone that I'm also going to take a shot on. And then going down to player number 4 is Justin Lewis. He popped up for me. And Justin Lewis down here. So we got over 16.5 points. He's been over that in 3 of the last 4 games. And he has a massive game against Butler where he laid 27. So he's someone that we can also consider putting in our cards today. Moving down to guy number 5 is Eli Brooks. Let's find Eli Brooks. Brooks. There you are. So what I like about this, it's a small number of 11.5 points, and he's pretty consistent. Over this in 4 straight with 13, 17, 18, and 16 points. He's someone that I like to get over. Going down to the next guy. We have 2 more we're going to go over. We're going to try to keep this video short and sweet. So we got... And price picks kind of fizzles out on me a little bit here. So I'm going to click out, click back in. So we're going to go look at Jalen Duren. So we have a small number here of 12.5 points. You can see he's been over this in 4 of the last 5 games. Pretty consistent. The game he did miss, he did have 11. So it's not someone that I'd love, but this Memphis SMU game could get a sneaky high total and go back and forth. Both teams are playing really well right now. So 12.5 points is a good guy to target. And then the last guy that popped up on our sheet was Ricky Council. So this Wichita-Houston game is very interesting. He does have a tough matchup. Houston has a swarming defense, and they're very difficult to play against. But 11.5 points is pretty small for the guard. He's got 17, 18, and 20 in 3 of the last 4 games, so going well over this number. So you can see he was the last guy that we found on the list of the 8. But he's definitely someone that you can take a look at. If you want to do a smaller card, I would focus on one of these top 3 guys, Prim, Hawkins, or DeJulius with Eli Brooks. Those are my favorite ones. But just something to sprinkle out there for you guys. So good luck. We can't wait for NBA to get started. Subscribe down below and go make some money.